Eric Sachetta. Welcome to today's video blog. And today I want to talk about what is the #1 key to your success. Now, again, in our last blog, if you haven't had a chance to check that out, we talked about success is guaranteed if, and you can check out what the answer is in that. But this is something different. Yeah, success is guaranteed if you don't blank, but if you don't do that, to make sure you don't, what the word is, you need to do something. You need to be something. So in this video, what is the #1 key to success? What is that commonality that all the people, no matter what they are or what they do, succeed? What is the commonality between the top athlete, the Mark Cubans, the Shark Tanks, the people on Shark Tank, all those people? What is the commonality between those people and people that are succeeding running restaurants and people succeeding, making a difference as a coach or a teacher or whatever the situation is? Regardless of what someone's doing, what is it that makes them succeed when other people fail? Because one of the things that happens is when successful people talk to people that are coming up or trying to be successful, they hear what they're being told, but then they say, oh, easy for you, Eric, or easy for you, Tony Robbins, or easy for you, Brendan Burchard, but blank. But there's one thing that they all have in common that helped them succeed, regardless of what type of business or part of their life they're trying to succeed at. Do you know what it is? What is the one thing that everyone who's successful, that really goes for it, regardless of where they started, ends up? Regardless of where they started, they get to a certain point. Do you know what it is? First time I heard it, I didn't get the answer. The answer is resourcefulness. Now, what the heck is resourcefulness? It's the ability to get the resources that you need to achieve the goal that you want. So like, for example, again, someone successful teaches you something and you say, great, easy for you, but you have a ton of money. Easy for you, you have a ton of connections. Easy for you, you have a big email list. Easy for you, your best friend is so-and-so. Easy for you, you were on TV last week. Easy for you, you're a tenured teacher. Easy for you, your brother's also in the NFL. Regardless of what it is. But here's the thing. All the successful people, all at some point, were not successful. Whether it's because they just weren't old enough yet, or they didn't have the skill, or they didn't have whatever it was. But they didn't take no for an answer, and they just went for it. And if they didn't know how to do something, they figured it out. If they didn't have other resources, they went for it. If you read personal development, success, leadership books like me, you hear those stories. People are in this situation and they don't have excuses. They go for it. Tony Robbins' bathtub story, no money, changes his approach and goes for it. One of my other mentors, Brendan Burchard, went bankrupt because he didn't insure the day before an event, and someone made up some story about getting hurt, and then he got wiped out. But he didn't give up. He found a way to come up with more money. He found a way to do all this stuff. People, I heard a story because I got a chance to I participated in a book with legend Brian Tracy. I got to write a chapter in the book, and I was watching a video of Brian's, and he talked about how there was a lady that for the longest time had great content in her books, but no one was buying it. She self-published a book, and it was really great information, and her friends and family loved it, but she really, nothing happened. So what did she do? She called into Brian's company. She wrote Brian letters, and eventually he responded, said, send me the book. He looked over the book. He gave a testimonial for the book. She added it to the cover, the front cover, redid the book, and someone reached out to Brian and said, hey, did you really endorse this book? And he said, absolutely. It was someone of influence, and now that lady's making a huge impact. And you say, wow, one endorsement from Brian. I wish I got an endorsement from Brian. But did you hear the part of the story where she where she called into Brian's company, she emailed people, she said, do you know Brian? You know what I mean? It's all resourcefulness. It's maximizing the resources you do have, but finding other resources. You know, if it's money, can you get a loan? Do you have credit cards? I know that many people say, oh, I don't use credit cards. Well, maybe if you're in a position where your income is fixed, but if you're looking at spend extra money, it's probably because you're trying to do something that's either going to extremely change your life, so change your mentality, or it's going to make you more money. And I think those are the only times that you make exceptions to those rules, not to buy a car or anything like that. So it's all about resourcefulness. If you don't have those resources, maybe you're starting a business, can you go find someone to pitch the idea to and get them to fund the project and give them a percentage of ownership? There's crowdfunding now. There's so many crowdfunding sites. You go share your passion about what you're doing, people will give you money. You know, you don't have money to go on a trip, but you've been working hard for 20 years, go put up a crowdfunding page. Tell your friends and family about it. It'll spread like wildfire. You know, in this day and age, especially with technology, it is, you know, back a couple hundred years ago, it might have been tough to be resourceful, but, you know, people still did it. But nowadays, phone calls, Skype, email, you know, you can be connected to anyone in the world within seconds. So I want to give you a quick story, and then we'll wrap up for today's episode. So one of my businesses is online marketing, and we're talking about success, personal development, and leadership, so we're not going to dive too much into exactly what I do, but if you're interested, there's a link down below, and you can check out the system that I learned from to actually, you know, become successful online. Of course, any results I get aren't typical, but you can check out any earning disclosures on those pages. But here's the thing, right? So when I heard about this proven system that could teach me how to be successful running an online business, I didn't have any money. I literally had spent all the money that I had, plus all credit cards, plus a family loan, plus one or two personal loans. And what did I spend all that money for? I spent all that money to fix up here, because I was a little lost, wasn't believing in myself, had some negative stories. So I started learning from Tony Robbins, and I went to all his events. I got a chance to meet him 3 or 4 times. I got to be a part of his platinum group. And at the end of it, I was, oh my gosh, I'm this happy, excited person. I'm grateful for everything I have. And now I don't have any money and I'm in a bunch of debt. I was still totally happy. It didn't affect my happiness. But I also said, now, if I'm going to try to find an idea on how to make money, I don't have any money. And most people would stop there. But I didn't. You know, part of that money I did spend on trying a bunch of online courses to figure out how to run an online business. And the first 3 or 4 I tried did not work out at all. I didn't make any money. Great information. I totally believe every course I've taken can work in some capacity, but I just didn't, I didn't have the positioning, if you know the term in marketing. I didn't have the positioning to get it done, and honestly, the situation I was in, I didn't want to dive further into that. I finally found one course that taught me how to do something very, very good, and I tried it, and I had to invest a decent amount of money into it, and I did that, and it was starting to go well, but it wasn't profitable. And I was about to give up on all this online marketing stuff, but I couldn't. How could I give up when, you know, I had spent all that money to get my mindset right? Now let's just make some money, you know what I'm saying? And if I gave it up, and, you know, I was just at my regular job, and that's it, I was never going to get out of the debt. I was never going to do any stuff, and it'd be tough to maintain my happiness when I know, hey, you know, I'm going to set aside a little bit of money each year to pay back this debt, but I'm not saving for retirement. I'm not doing all this stuff. So I said, I can't quit. I got to be resourceful. So I found one more course. Something about it connected with me. And it's not a course, it's a system. And once you plug into that system, you add your personality, and you can run your online business. So when I got started, they have coaches, and I talked to one of the coaches, and she said to me, you know, you got to go all in for this business. You got to invest the full amount, because that's how you're going to make the most money. And I said, I'm with you, but I don't have any money. And she told me a story about resourcefulness. She said, hey, I'm the same thing, in the same place you were. When I heard about this business, I knew I had to go all in, but I didn't have the money to pay for the extra stuff, minus just getting started. And my new husband and I said, we have to make this work. We're going to be resourceful. So what did they do? They sold everything they had, except for their engagement and wedding rings. Everything they had. And we're talking about young people. I mean, they're an amazing couple. And they sold everything they had. Now, I hear this story and I say, oh, crap, my excuse isn't there. Because how are you going to defend someone who did that? What I'm saying is, how can my excuses have any leverage with someone like that? Do you get what I'm saying? So then I said, okay, well, here's what I could do. I have that other business that I have that's not profitable, but it's a business where you do have to purchase inventory. So I have a few $1,000s worth of inventory in this business. I could either try to just sell off the inventory, or I could try to sell the whole business, and because I built a brand, even though it's not profitable, I could probably get some money above the inventory value because of the fact that I took the time to build a brand and other people are looking to do the same thing. But I set it up, and now if they have money and resources to market and stuff, they can take this business I started to the next level. So I did that. I posted in the members area of this course because other people were doing the same thing, and I got 100 inquiries of people looking to purchase my business. And I got a bunch of offers. I got a few that were a couple $1,000s over what I was asking for it. But I decided to go with someone who actually gave me my asking price, but also was going to give me a percentage of the sales for doing nothing. So now I have a percentage of this business, percentage profit of this business, and I don't have to do anything. I made all the money back I spent on it, and now I invested it in a new opportunity. And then what I did, because I had to invest most of the money that I made on the business into this new proven system, to get to the top level, I had to invest most of the money. Now I said, well, now I have to be able to have some money to market the business. I have tons of sports memorabilia and collection. I used to collect everything growing up. I sold all of it on eBay. I made a few $1,000s. That was my marketing budget to get started, and I was off and running. Be resourceful. The only difference between me and you or anyone else, the only difference between Tony Robbins and someone who's not successful that came from a tough background now is resourcefulness. If you'll be resourceful, nothing can stop you. You say, well, Eric, isn't the key to success surrounding yourself with the right people? That's being resourceful. That's willing to go to courses. That's willing to mastermind. That's willing to speak up and make connections. It all comes from being resourceful. I hope that helps you. So go out there, live the movie, have a wonderful day. If you want to hear about the system I'm talking about, I'm not trying to pitch anything to you, but there's a link below. You can hear from Chris Jones and Adam, who run this great proven system. You can check it out. But I hope you love that. We'll have more blogs with you tomorrow and the next day and so on and so forth. But we will talk to you soon. Have a great day.